Welcome to Doughboys, the podcast about rattling chain restaurants. And this, of course, is the Doughboys double homicide. I'm the murder boy, Nick Weiger, along with my co-ghost, the Spoon Wolf Man, Mike Mitchell.
Howdy ho.
Mitch.
Podcast bad. That's what we're doing for a while.
Mitch, this is Halloween. This episode is releasing on October 31st.
This is Halloween Day?
This is Halloween Day. This episode's out on October 31st. It's a Tuesday this year. Wild, right?
Be safe out there, boys, boos, and ghouls.
Very good.
Ugh. Lights right.
You were doing you were doing a little This is Halloween. I cut you off, but you're doing a little Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, huh.
And the Crypt, we used to like joking about the Crypt Keeper.
Yeah, Crypt Keeper's funny.
I forgot how his voice goes though.
Yeah,
That's
I'm not supposed to talk yet.
No,
you're doing great.
When you come in with the Crypt Keeper, I think it's important. Hello, boys.
He's kind of up here.
Yeah, yes.
The Crypt Keeper.
Yeah.
This podcast will be your pod last.
Yes. Ooh, I like that.
He's that kind of shit.
He's
right?
very pun heavy.
Very pun heavy. He loves puns. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was just trying to think
I'm
of
thinking
pun.
of one too.
I was trying to think of pun.
I hope you enjoy this audio track before you get audio hacked.
That's very good.
That's good as hell. Fuck, I still don't have one. I just don't have one.
Wave.
Earbuds? More like, your ears will be in the mud. Fuck. It sucks.
No, that was good. That was really good.
great.
No, it wasn't.
I mean, I'm surprised you didn't go for fear, but it's okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
fear buds.
Ear blood.
Fuck.
Fear
Fear
blood is
blood.
really good.
Look, if every person in the place does a better one than me,
You're doing
a
good.
guy walking by outside says a fucking better pun than me.
You guys recording a podcast? Anyone do This Will Be Your Pod Last? Oh, someone did? Okay. How about you're talking into this microphone, but soon you'll be phoning home from the grave.
You know what? That guy made me feel better.
Did do a good job.
That guy did make me
kinda
feel better.
sucked.
The best I was microgroan.
Oh, microgroan is really good, yeah.
I don't know about that.
Oh, hold on a second.
Are you looking up audio type words?
You're on Pun Finder?
Wave.
I'm on
Wave.
Pun Finder.
Okay, great.
Wave.
Graves.
MIDI.
Smart ones, more like dead ones. Oh, it's smartless. Oh my god, and it would have been so perfect. Smartless, more like heartless.
Okay.
Oh, that is good. That is
That's
pretty
good.
good. Yeah.
Can you just give me the skeleton?
This skeleton, by the way, is Casey's personal skeleton, he informed us. There's a skeleton sitting next to me on the couch. We have a very nice spooky tableau, which you can see if you're watching this on the video feed. For those of you in the audio feed, we've got a couple of lit candles. We've got some atmospheric lighting. The lighting is a little lower than normal. And yes, we got a full-fledged skeleton right here who is sitting to my right. You want me to pass the skeleton over? Let me see if I don't want to mangle it. I'm going to walk it over. So kill time for a second.
You're gonna
this
walk
is
it on his
fun.
feet? Oh, okay.
Oh, this.
That's fun. That is fun. No, he's not doing it like I thought he would.
Yeah, you mean like you thought he literally was gonna like walk over, check his watch.
That's kind of what I
That's
wanted.
fun. Like kind of puppet him.
You know,
All right, Mitch is holding up the skeleton.
4 minutes into the Doughboys podcast, no laughs.
It looks like Mitch. I'm sorry. It looks like you're nuts deep in the skeleton.
It really does.
Well, I got a bone to pick with you, buddy. Oh, man, I took too much Ozempic.
What's the skinny? And I'm not talking about me.
I'm the SAG union rep. I'm waiting for a deal over here. I think I'm but maybe I should become a comedian that has a prop like
Yeah,
that.
you can do that.
So
This is kind of like Jeff Dunham's bit, but I think you could do like a cleaner version of it.
yeah,
Cleaner.
cleaner. Cleaner.
I'm gonna give you a cleaner Jeff Dunham.
It would be so funny if one day Jeff Dunham woke up and was just like, "What? He's always been American.
Yeah.
He's always been American. Normal guy from Dakota."
Just being gaslit by Dunham. It's like, all right, well,
yeah.
So wait, who is telling the story? I know this was a story. I think this was a story on a different podcast, so I apologize for retelling it. But since we're talking Dunham, someone maybe this feels like a podcast the ride thing. Someone saw Dunham. Someone saw a guy wearing a Jeff Dunham sweatshirt at the Voodoo Donut.
Wow.
Wait, did Oscar tell us this on the pod? No, he didn't. No, this I heard this in a different context. Someone saw someone wearing a Jeff Dunham sweatshirt at the Voodoo Donut at Universal City Walk, and it was Jeff Dunham wearing his own sweatshirt.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's like me wearing Doughboy stuff.
It is.
Yeah.
Except no one times a billion fans for Jeff Dunham.
The most successful touring act like in America. It was like you would look at like top comedy grossers, like in terms of like, gross dollars for touring, and Jeff Dunham would consistently be at the top of the list for like 5-10 years. It was crazy how successful he was.
Bone, 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 bone. Tell me what you. Oh my God! He was singing Bone Thug.
Right, he's a Bone Thug.
For our audio listeners, Mitch is moving the skeleton's jaw as he's doing that song.
Oh yeah, I guess that doesn't translate in the podcast.
It's fun for us. We're having
great
fun.
For us. It's more reason to check out that video tent.
There you go. Our guest I haven't formally introduced, Mano Agapion, is here. Hi, Mano. Thanks so much for making time for us.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm so sorry. I had to talk before.
I love that you talked. It took too
yes.
long to introduce you.
Here, I'm gonna hand you the
No, I
skeleton
talked
back.
immediately.
No, this is great.
It was too exciting. When you brought up the Crypt Keeper, I'm such a fan. I mean, truly the Crypt Keeper, partially raised.
Well,
Oh my God!
All right,
well,
so here's what happened.
this is the fear. I'm so happy that Casey is at least laughing.
Oh, how about this? Hey, if you're gonna give me head,
Fuck, that's good.
at least let me know.
So what
this
happened is that
good.
Mitch was passing me the skeleton, and I tried to grab it by the spinal column, and his head just popped off.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I seem to have been able to reattach it. I don't think it's that snugly fit
I
in
like
there.
it.
But yeah, that's what happened.
It's crazy that it's not the first time that's happened to you. Where you've pulled the head off of someone's body.
Going around sub-zeroing
right.
people. Come on.
Thank you.
You
for
so
having me.
calmly reattached it. I
Yes.
thought that was pretty creepy.
That's good to know. Are you good in crisis, Weiger?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
If you saw a decapitated guy on the street, you'd be like, no worries. Just put
I
him
know
back
you did,
together.
No, I think that, like pressure kind of focuses me. Like some people like they panic. For me, it's just like, okay,
Yeah.
just fucking get on the ball.
I really.
This is
freeze.
fucking gnarly and cool, this candle here.
Yeah, so we got the liquid death
beautiful.
candle. That's one
Thank
of the
you,
lit
Polly
candles.
Van Dam, yes.
And it is in the shape of a hand holding a liquid death can.
Oh, shouldn't shine the flashlight into the camera.
Oop.
No, that helped see it a little bit better.
Did it really?
It's pretty dark in here.
All right, here we go. There it is.
Whoa.
The liquid death candle.
Mano, this is our horror month, Shockdoughbooerdeath.
Yes.
We have never done a horror month here on the Doughboys podcast. We do an October theme, but this is the first time we've addressed the spooky season directly. I'm curious
I'm pointing out the Belasco candles as well.
Oh yeah, we get these
Aren't they
candles
gorgeous?
from the Belasco Theater
Theater.
as
Oh,
part of our
gorgeous.
tableau. Those are also lit. I'm curious, like, okay, because I think of you as one of the a horror aficionado,
Very
someone
nice.
who's like very into the genre, very
Thanks.
knowledgeable of the genre.
Uh-huh.
Do you have any horror 101 recs? And I know we're towards the end, but like if you're
Whoa.
like is someone who's like, I have a peripheral knowledge of horror, but what are some things I would really I might enjoy that could get me further into the genre?
You know, I like diving back into 90s horror.
Mm.
Like I recently, me and Betsy recently watched The Dentist on our podcast. We Love Trash.
Oh yeah.
We Love Trash on Patreon. But no, really, we watched The Dentist again. And have you seen that one?
Yes, that one's
It's
fucking.
awesome.
It's Corbin Burnson, right?
Yes.
He like fucks up a tooth. Yeah, he's like
Yes.
a fucking nasty psychotic dentist.
I really longed for that era of
Yeah.
like they really balanced fright with camp in a way that was just fucking perfect.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of diving back into the 90s. I feel like and even just like old episodes of Tales from the Crypt. Like I feel like they
Right.
really
Tales from the Crypt
balanced
is great. I'm
So
a huge fan of
spooky.
it. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
watched Creep Show this year, and I
Mhm.
also read the Creep Show comic, which
Yeah.
is an adaptation of the screenplay.
You've
and it's
never
really
seen
good art.
Creep Show,
I haven't
right?
seen Creep Show.
Yeah.
And I did really enjoy it. I like the anthology format for horror. It really lends itself to those like kind of shorter, tighter tales.
It's
Stephen
it's
King is
fun.
really fun in that movie.
Oh, yeah. What an actor.
It's
What
great.
an actor. Yeah, he was pretending to be sober for
Yeah.
like a couple minutes. It was amazing. No, but I love 90s. I also
Yeah.
say there's a new movie out called No One Will Save You. Have you heard about this?
And no, I have not.
It's on
Oh,
Hulu.
yeah. Mhm.
It's fucking cool.
Wow.
I don't want to give anything away, but it's called No One Will Save You. It's very surprising, but it also delivers on visuals and scares, and it's interesting. Big Wreck.
I'll watch it.
Yeah, watch it. It's
Speaking
great.
of Big Wreck, great horror movie.
Wreck.
Mm.
So
Have you ever seen
freaky.
Wreck?
I have not seen it. This one's supposedly
Very.
really fucked up, right?
Really fucked.
You gotta watch the one that there's one. You gotta watch the one with English subtitles,
Yeah.
not dubbed over.
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch a fucking dub.
But it's hard to find the one with English subtitles. It's like very hard to find
I'm
it.
sure I could find
I'm
it.
also
Come
going to be annoying and I recommend this every time I talk about horror, but The Orphanage. There's a Spanish movie called
Okay.
The
Oh
Orphanage.
yeah.
It's so good.
Wow.
Watch that one dubbed.
You Hello, my name is Marantas de Alonso. Yeah, that one's a good one, dub. No, but
Wow.
that movie is really fucking amazing. It's Guillermo del Toro era, and it's that cool thing he's so good at of like horror plus human sci-fi. Like,
Okay.
you know what I mean? Like he really balances those genres so well. Love it.
There's a little internet video of Stephen King talking about Kubrick's The Shining. Did you see this?
I know the video. I haven't watched it recently. This was him on like a late night or something, right?
I think he's on Letterman.
Oh, he's on Letterman,
He's
okay.
on, but before Letterman was late night, maybe. Maybe it was like when Letterman had a morning show.
Oh wow. What?
Did Letterman have a morning show
I don't
before
know.
late night, or was it just
Oh.
late night? It probably was just late night.
He had late night and he had the late show. I don't know if he ever did a daytime thing.
It's if you see the video of it, it looks like it's like Letterman is just well, whatever. It probably is. I don't know what it is, but but Stephen King is
A
like
spooky mystery.
Stephen King is nicer to The Shining than you think he would be. He's like kind of nicer.
He
to
was
it.
mostly, I think, from my understanding, is he was mostly upset about the casting of Jack Nicholson, and that was because his whole thing is that people already think of this guy as going mad.
Yeah.
I had no problem with it.
Wait, I missed it. Can you do it again?
I said I thought the cat. Oh my god,
I know who's good.
the casting to me was pretty good.
That's excellent.
Kind of doing a Bobby D face at the end, though.
Yeah.
You know what that turned into. There you go. So okay, you mentioned Betsy earlier.
Yeah.
We had Betsy on
know of
this
her.
month to we were talking Kills Draft, which was we kind of took our Mount Killsmore, our favorite horror movie kills. I'll let you
yes.
think on this for a second because I know it's like a tough thing to conjure in the moment.
So
But
these are the best kills.
yeah, we kind of had like our list of like our favorite horror movie kills, like when we've seen someone because just get slaughtered in a spectacular fashion.
Mhm.
But I'm curious if you have any, and I will let you think on that for a second. And while you're thinking on that, while you're marinating on that topic, Mitch, you and I are both watching through all the Freddys right now.
That's right.
Oh my
And
god.
that one is, there's some kills we didn't talk about in that episode, but one you've talked about is on part 5 is the motorcycle kill.
Great, probably one of Freddy's great kills.
An excellent
Where he
kill.
lands through someone? No.
No,
It's-
it's
he-
basically the motorcycle just starts taking over. What's his name? Dan.
Yeah, he's like the hunky guy. He's like the hunky
He's from the
boyfriend.
last one.
And
He
he
survived the
carries
last
over.
one.
Mhm.
And they do a trick which they would never do these days, where it's like a cast member carries over from one to the next, and they're killed almost immediately.
Mhm.
So
Which the Freddy's were pretty good with. 3 did that. The Dream Warriors came back.
they came back and
Spoiler alert.
they get fucking killed in 4.
They get got.
They got 4. I like.
But yeah, he's like kind of he's like being driven out of control, like with the motorcycle, but also like kind of the fucking his veins are like turning into fuel piping and shit, right?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
shit.
The bike is like going into his.
it's like it's like integrating with his anatomy.
The wires and everything from the bike are going into, and then he's like basically like a zombie riding the thing.
Fucking
But you also
shit.
can tell like Freddy, which is also a great effect. Freddy comes out of the front plate of the motorcycle
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
and is like, "Oh, Dan, like don't sleep and drive or whatever."
Yeah.
And then his eyes are like the only thing you can see, and his eyes are like really scared. like as his body is getting kind of destroyed by this motorcycle, and then he dies. You know what? I told you that I liked 4 more. Like 4 is one of my favorites, and I rewatched 4, and I do like 4 because it has some crazy stuff from Screaming Mad George, the guy who did effects.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And he turned that lady into a cockroach and crushed her, which is crazy effects.
Nasty.
But I actually maybe like Dream Child 5. I think I like 5 quite a bit.
5
There's
is
stuff
fun.
in 6 I like when Freddy is. Did you watch?
Freddy's Dead. Yeah,
Did you watch Freddy's Dead?
I just watched that like a couple nights ago.
Brecken? Is that the one with Brecken?
Yeah, Brecken
in it?
Meyer. Brecken Meyer's like a rambunctious teenager who likes to smoke weed and play video games, and he's killed in a fucking video game.
Right, that's Freddy's Bugs Bunny era.
It's a little
Now
too
you're
silly. It's a little too
playing
goofy.
Now you're playing with power.
Yeah, and he talks about it. I've got my own power glove, and he's got the fucking It's a little self parody.
That's pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking
Freddy uses a power glove. That fucking rules.
But it also is like the kind of, it's also the era where he's like using a joystick and like the graphics are like not really lining up with what it's like. It was like someone who didn't really know what a video game was realizing that on the
I
screen.
mean, nothing will beat part 3.
Yeah, I think part 3 is the highlight. At least
5. I think 5 is really good. Just as far as the kills go, you got that motorcycle kill wise.
spilled all over myself.
Oh no!
Oh dear. Look, it's okay. You look good.
Thanks.
I can't tell.
You're in a nightmare.
No!
What? I guess you would drown.
Spill, bitch.
Yeah, I was gonna say just like acute heart attack from being slightly embarrassed. Have you already talked about part 3 where the puppet kill? Have you ever talked about that?
Okay, no,
Holy
I
shit.
talked about the TV kill.
That one's
like that
amazing.
one, but welcome to primetime, bitch. But yeah, we didn't talk about the puppet
puppeting
kill.
where,
That one is
like,
great.
He like pulls someone's veins out of their body, and there's like a little puppet Freddy, and he is puppeting this insomniac man with the veins as if he's a marionette doll, and then making him walk to that bell tower to off himself. It's unbelievably cool.
It's really great, and it also has the great perspective of like there's like a Freddy looming over it, like a marionette, operator. It looks really cool. It's just great photography.
Can I make a case for 5?
Sure,
Jack.
good luck.
5. I'm not going to talk in the voice.
Okay.
5 has some of the most creative deaths. The motorcycle death, the one where he's feeding the model, the meatballs, or whatever they
Isn't that 4?
No, that's 5. Where the girl's mouth is like she's getting like
I'm getting scrambled in my brain.
They're all in the same movie to me.
he's he's stuffing her up. Then there's also that cool kill.
That one's funny.
That cool kill where the guy he turns into paper basically and like shreds
that one
him
is
up.
cool. The comic book guy.
5 has a lot of the cool deaths.
It has some cool kills. I think as a movie, it's maybe a little bit less.
The movie's a little confusing in a way. Yeah. What is the dream child?
What is going on with the kid? Yeah, why is he like a little 6-year-old?
Is that the one with the flashbacks to like pre-Freddy?
No, that's wait. No, I think that's Freddy's Dead.
Maybe you're right.
No. 5 has baby Freddy.
Uh-huh.
But it has the nun.
One,
it has the nun as well.
But the one with Robert Englund just outside of the prosthetics, just like as a husband, like beating his wife.
Yeah.
That's like I think that's Freddy's Dead, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, and then he comes back as like he gets brought into the real world at the end. Spoiler alert! And he is just like not all burned up. He's like regular Robert Englund. For a bit. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That one's a little bit. That one's the most confusing.
It's very confusing.
The Dream Child is definitely, and it's a guy who used to be around the comedy world. Whit Hertford is the.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
He's a little kid.
But part 3 has that epic monologue from the nun who says he's the bastard child of 1,000 maniacs.
Yeah, that's really good.
And that is gay and camp.
2 is
Two is gay.
2 is like
notorious.
Is notoriously. I mean, like it's known as embraced as a gay film.
Hyper gay. Yeah.
I was watching
the
them.
lead actor is a gay man as
yes.
well.
Yes. Yeah. I was watching them because I put 2 is one I put on. I was like, I've never seen this all the way through. I had one of those things of just like I thought I'd seen them all. Yeah.
And then he shows up at the pool and he's like, "Hey kids," it's like what?
They didn't quite figure out that one's like they didn't settle what the rules were yet.
Yeah,
that's
they
why
broke a lot of the
3 really
rules.
really works because they're like, we know what Freddy is. He goes into people's dreams and he finds a way to kill them in the real world using like making them walk off the edge of a watchtower. Like they figured out the rule set and then they just explore it really well.
It's a real Mario 2-3.
Oh,
Okay.
that's an interesting thing. Yeah.
For all the weirdest nerds out there.
Yeah.
Mario 1 was like, this is Mario. Mario 2 was like, is this Mario?
Yeah, they reskinned Doki Doki Panic, a completely different game from Japan.
Yes. And then Mario 3 was like, this is Mario.
Yeah, we've fucking nailed it. That's a great comparison.
Yeah.
Well, what the hell is Super Mario World then, Wags?
Super Mario World it would be 4.
Pretty good. New Nightmare? Is that the one
New
where
Nightmare is great.
That one's great. Where
Yeah.
Nancy is Nancy, and it's like it's like the original Scream, obviously.
It is, yeah.
Or the serious, obviously the inspiration. It's so good.
I got that next.
Yeah.
Let's
Other
talk a
good
little.
kills.
Are you gonna go through Freddy versus Jason?
I think what I'm going to do, and I'm not quite sure what the next step is in this process, but I think I'm going to finish the Freddy's up through New Nightmare. I might watch the remake, but I think I'm going to save Freddy versus. I think I'm going to watch all the Jasons and then watch Freddy versus Jason. I think that's more fun.
Before we move on, wait, did Betsy talk about the kill in Leprechaun 3? Have we already talked about that?
Oh, we were talking about the guy who got yes, we did talk about this. The woman,
Leprechaun 4
the woman
space.
the woman who wishes for youth in her boobs and her butt.
Yeah. And she explodes because she can't get through the door.
Yeah.
That's one of the best kills.
It's a great kill.
And then part 4, where in Leprechaun in Space, did you talk about that one? Where his dick becomes Leprechaun.
No, I don't think we
man.
talked about this.
It's so good. Where he's like, "Oh shit, I'm getting such a big boner. Oh god, it's really big." And his boner like becomes Leprechaun, and he like explodes.
Leprechaun used a lot of Freddy. He started to pull some Freddy shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really fucking cool.
Freddy versus Leprechaun. They should have kept the verses going. It was supposed to be Ash versus Ash from Evil Dead versus Freddy versus Jason.
That would have been cool.
That's fun.
Oh,
That would have been cool. Yeah, that
happened.
I know the Versus film had such potential.
I like when they do.
I love Freddy versus Jason. I'm a defender of it. I mean,
I remember enjoying
not
it.
a defender of all of it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Got some problematic stuff. But
Weird moments.
But I remember enjoying it. And it's also like crazy at the time what a thing that was like, oh my God, Freddy's gonna fight Jason. Can you believe this?
Yeah.
Can they do that?
Yeah.
Like what a sensation it was.
There
Just
was
a piece
some
of cinema.
stuff they got right, like in terms of like, I like how Freddy broke down Jason's psyche to make him feel like an insecure kid. I was like, that's cool.
Yeah.
My theater loved Freddy vs. Jason, so that maybe. I guess I wish there was maybe more Elm Street vibe to. It was just hard to. They're two different killers, Wags.
They're very different.
They're different.
Yeah.
And as soon as you embrace that, we can move on.
They're different.
They're
all right? They're two
different.
different killers.
So I don't know why you're harping on this.
Whatever. It's fine. They're different.
Wags,
Yeah.
Today's episode, obviously, like we said, is very spooky.
That's right. We're getting spooky vibes right now.
That's right. And we're going to tell some stories.
We are going to talk about some spooky, scary ghost stories. We also have a big thing of Halloween candy, which we are welcome to. Everyone is welcome
I
to.
feel
dig
so
into.
much like shit. We did. We did.
Yeah,
You already had some candy.
We
of
had a
course, today.
Doughboys meal earlier, and we also had we ate a bunch of food on another episode. So we'll see how much of this we're able to put away.
I'm going to say what I'm going to eat. Okay, I'm going to point it out. I'm going to do one Starburst, one Reese's peanut butter cup,
Wow.
and one thing of Skittles.
Okay, great. I definitely want a crunch
Yeah,
because I was a
before
big
they
crunch
ban
guy.
those Skittles, huh?
Wow.
Huh?
Wow.
Huh? They're gonna have to modify those Skittles. Thanks,
Why?
Newsom.
What happened?
Gavin Newsom is outlawing in California like dangerous food additives, which of course include like red dye number 40.
Wow.
So in like the year 2020, I'm sure they'll just change the formula somehow, but Skittles as we know them will change forever.
That's crazy.
Boo!
That was Mano's scary story, by the way.
We got almond joy here. I might have an
Almond Joy is
joy.
good. Here's my thing though. Have y'all talked about how Mars chocolate isn't chocolate
Oh my God.
anymore? Oh
What
my
happened?
God.
The block fell off.
Oh my God.
How spooky.
Yes.
This feels like a good time for Skeleton. Skeleton, you want to make a joke?
I knocked your block off.
That's your joke?
Skeleton, that was pretty good.
Skeleton, that was the joke?
I mean,
pretty
Where'd
good.
it go?
Oh, well, I got it back on. Weiger gave it to me.
It's
Oh
back.
my god.
It's back. Okay, Mars chocolate sucks now. Have y'all talked about that on the Doughboys? Like the chocolate sucks.
Have they changed it?
Yeah.
I
I'm
guess
certain of
probably
it.
haven't had it recently enough to notice.
I don't.
I hear Elon's gonna bring back better Mars chocolate.
Yeah, he's turning Mars into X Mars. Yeah, no, it's just not the same chocolate. I know I'm an adult now and maybe I just like better chocolate, but I genuinely believe the chocolate's not the same and it sucks and I just can't.
I said I was gonna eat a Reese's peanut butter cup. I changed to a pumpkin. These are the smaller. There's the bigger pumpkins. These are small.
I've got an
Yeah.
Almond Joy, I've got a Crunch, I've got a Kit Kat, and I've got a Reese's Pumpkin.
Okay.
So I'm gonna dig into a few of these, but I'm thinking back, and I kind of liked. I know Almond Joys are polarizing because of the coconut and the almonds. I did like coming across them because they were always kind of a nice surprise, and I also like a Mounds. I think I just like coconut.
I weirdly do too. Young me would be shocked, but I definitely like that coconut thing happening in a Mounds or Almond Joy. So you don't want that almond there?
No, I'm gonna eat.
You want the coconut. Uh-oh. Oh no, he's dead. Spooky.
You all right?
Yeah. I'm gonna eat this single almond. I want the almond. I was just like eating around it.
You want it.
I feel like my body is overheating from just what we ate in the but what we ate in the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
I got a Kit Kat, Wags. You got me on a Kit Kat. I have a Snickers, Skittles, a Starburst, and a Reese's peanut butter cup, and I've eaten a Reese's pumpkin. I don't think I'm gonna eat all these.
What'd you think of the chocolate on the Reese's pumpkin?
It's not as good. I mean, like you're right. I wonder. I feel like Kit Kat will be the big. But does the Kit Kat? Do you even taste it with the crunch?
Yeah, I mean Kit Kat wins because the interior is so good. I would say. Remember whatchamacallit? I miss those. I enjoyed
That was
those.
so fun.
That
Fun
was
to
really
say
fun.
too.
Fun, so fun to say.
This mini Reese's pumpkin isn't really doing it for me for whatever reason.
I'm telling you, man, they're making it worse every year. I hate to sound like this old fuddy-duddy, but they're just making. I mean, the hell, I'm welcome to capitalism. They're like,
Yeah, fuck.
we can make it. If we make it 1% shittier every year,
Right.
will people really call us on it?
Yeah, and we'll make like an extra nickel.
Right.
Bye, Amelia. Amelia's
Bye.
leaving. It was a good time to bring up. She told us that she had a story.
Oh yeah, there'll be a spooky story from her.
We said, do you have a scary story? And she says, I actually had something that unexplained that happened to me, but I can't tell it because it's
Yeah.
going to make you look like a psycho. And we said, you got to tell us. And we were like, you should stay for it. It seemed like she wanted to leave. I don't blame her.
Yeah.
Even though she did just hang out outside the podcast with Anya for a good half an hour.
Yeah, you
Anyway.
currently waved to her.
I just waved her a moment ago. And we were like, what's your story? And she told us that one time she saw Santa and all his reindeer.
So Santa and all his reindeer in flight.
In
the sky.
flight. And we were like,
She can't explain it.
for real.
For real.
It was so funny too, because like the way she described it, the tee-up was like, it was like bone chilling. Like
Yeah.
her hair turned white and like she went cold, and before she said it was Santa and his reindeer.
Truly insane.
Yeah, really.
And then she said her mom also said it was Santa. Maybe it was. I can't judge anyone.
Well, here's what I'll say. Okay, I don't know if we're going there yet, but I will say, like, as someone, I've seen a ghost and I don't believe
Wow.
in ghosts. Do you know what I'm saying? I've seen a ghost and yet I do not believe in them.
No, I understand what you're saying because I've had. Look, I got.
This is where we hear that Wags has like seen spirits multiple times.
Well, I used to get sleep paralysis. I've talked about this on
Yes,
the podcast.
yes.
I used to get that all the time. Thankfully haven't gotten it at least a lot in the same way in a while.
It's kind of weird because for a lot of people, you are, when they have sleep paralysis, they see you.
Hey, buddy. Check out the Doughboys podcast.
What about get played?
Yeah. So I'm like, but my experience would always be like, I can't move. A lot of times I was face down on a pillow and like, just didn't feel like I could breathe, even though I was getting air in my lungs. And it felt like, hours were passing, even though it was just a matter of minutes.
Yeah.
But the thing if I saw anything, if I was like on my back, it would always be like just like a huge like looming shadow. Sometimes with like a hat, sometimes with a smile, just looking down on me, and just like that feeling the ominous presence of like just some
We're
like
talking stovetop hat, like stovetop pipe hat. or
Yeah, like a
scally cap.
I think more like kind of like an old timey sort of hat, like kind of like a
That's
a bowler.
horrifying.
A bowler.
like a bowler or like a a fucking
Pork pie.
Yeah, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a Lincoln hat.
Stovetop?
Yeah, I guess it is a
That's-
stovetop hat.
That was right then. I guessed it right.
Ding, ding,
By the
ding,
way,
ding.
by the way, do you ever do the full, just all the Skittles at once?
No.
You never do it?
No, you're bastardizing the flavors.
But it's kind of fun when you do them all at once too.
I just can't have that much of my mouth.
I feel that way about a lot of foods. Like I think Rice
Can't have that
Krispies
much in your
taste
mouth.
better when there's more in your mouth.
I
All right.
I agree.
I don't know why, but it's funny you say that because that's why it's like my ghost story has so many similarities to what you're saying.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I always like, here's my story, and I see how this could be explained away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My friend Dan Tufo, he gets sleep paralysis. He'd see an old lady sitting at the end of his bed. It was very scary.
That's awful.
There's like an old lady
At
at the
least it
foot
could
of
be-
his bed, like sitting on his feet.
Ew, and she was old.
I've also gotten
Sucks.
like a few people, like a little group, like a little like a trio.
Ooh.
Everyone's leaving.
Yeah.
That's
And then
nasty.
and I've also gotten like a big just like kind of like a mound of kind of like a man but kind of monster, more sort of like kind of a grimace form factor, but still
Mhm.
just like kind of faceless and kind of menacing, So yeah, I've
Who's
just,
in the group of people?
just like three different guys.
Wow, that's.
Hmm.
I've never heard that. That's fascinating.
Stuart, Bob.
Kevin, yeah. No,
Alvin,
it's like
Simon.
it's like three different. No, it's like one main guy and then a couple of other like flunkies, but they're all just like kind of big shadowy dudes.
That's
you know?
wild.
Yeah.
That's really nuts.
Yeah, it's weird.
Only one red.
But what
In my
that movie?
Skittles.
Oh.
No one cares.
Oh, it's good to know.
That is an interesting ratio.
One red?
Gavin Newsom's trying to get that to 0.
That's bullshit.
To comment on your ghost skepticism,
Mm-hmm.
it always would make me think of alien abductions, and like I wonder how much of what people perceive as alien abductions was actually,
Sleep paralysis.
some very lucid dream or some form of sleep paralysis that seemed like they were like, well, these alien
Right.
figures are looming over me and they're dominating me, and I don't know what I'm not in control, and all of a sudden I wake up and I have this distinct memory of being taken aboard a craft or something like that.
Yeah,
Or
I'm
that's
covered
what-
in goo.
Yeah.
I got covered in all this goo.
Right. So you're saying that's just like a nocturnal emission?
Yeah, I mean, it could
Right,
be. I
right.
think the goo might be a nocturnal emission.
What smart guy famously said the mind's an unreliable narrator?
Hmm.
Some smart guy said that.
Mm.
Feels like a Carl Sagan. I did read. Carl Sagan has this book, "Science is a Candle in the Dark,"
Mm.
and it's all about. He was very skeptical. He was like an outspoken atheist to a less annoying degree than a lot of like these atheist influencers these days. But he was like a very much like science has all the answers kind of person.
Mm-hmm.
You ever give your Skittle on deck like this? Just kind of like right here on the edge of your lip.
Filter later,
And I suck it in.
and then get in there.
Mm-hmm.
But that book is all about he's just talks about things of like what people consider to be alien abductions now, and I don't fucking know, maybe aliens are real, but he's like what people like. The way people describe alien abductions now are the same way that, like, back in the 14th century, they described being visited by angels or being visited by deities. It was just like they didn't have the language of saying, like, these are aliens because they didn't have a scientific explanation for it. So they
Right.
go to a spiritual explanation.
Look at the
It's like, oh,
highs
that's
and the
interesting.
lows of a Starburst pack. You got a yellow, but you also got a pink.
I love every single flavor in a Starburst.
That's
Yeah, I
fair.
think they're all fun.
I'm here for all of them. I just had an orange that rocked my world.
Yellow.
So good. It was so good.
Yellow is more you think of piss. It's closer to a piss flavor.
I love it.
I don't mind it.
Especially with Starburst. Starburst is to me the best candy in this bucket. Sorry, everyone else.
Wow.
Good to the last drop.
Wow.
I don't know. I think they're so good.
I like Snickers quite a bit, and I do right the quality of the candies, the chocolate is.
It might be a little worse. I have that in my brain as I'm tasting these, but all these are like, I don't know,
They're all worse.
They're all a little worse.
They're definitely worse.
The other thing that I had 4 fun-sized pieces of, I had a Kit Kat, I had a Reese's, I had a Almond Joy, and I had a Crunch. And I'm just like, am I just good on Halloween candy now? Do I just not need this in my life anymore?
Yeah.
It's like I have less of a sweet tooth than I used to, and I'm also like, if I'm gonna have something.
You'll
I don't
still
know.
go trick or treating though, right?
You kids need a chaperone. I'm just like, I don't need. I don't know if I need low quality sugar anymore. I feel like if I'm gonna have that, I just like give me like fucking an artisan scoop of ice cream or something, or like a nice piece of cake. I don't know.
Same.
Mums and dads always love sneaking into the kids' trick or treat bags. So, you know.
Yeah, but it's just not the same. It's like I would never. It's like literally like why I'm eating like trash at a podcast studio. It's like I would never buy this for myself.
Yeah, right.
So,
with you. Yeah,
it's and you know what else is scary? Talking about scary stuff.
Yeah,
we do too many podcasts, right?
Great point.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever feel like in a podcast you're in your own alternate world away from reality?
Fuck, that's crazy, Mano. That's so intense.
You know what I mean?
I don't think that, but like that's crazy. That's a crazy thought to have in my head.
We're just in here ignoring reality.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
We're just in here talking and in our little bubble, and like this is a reality for us. But we are literally trapped. And we do so much of it.
We do so much of it. Yeah,
away from the world.
Yeah, the rest of the world might as well not exist outside of this room right now.
Yeah.
It's just like you're right. That's kind of crazy to think about.
It's spooky.
Yeah,
there is a lot of awful things going on in the world, obviously, right now. But it's that sort of thing of like. I'm like, could I leave a podcast recording and then go outside and they're like, aliens have invaded?
Yeah.
I'm like, it's possible.
Yes, it is.
Like during this, just being in this stupid world, and then like, poor Casey's like, man, my last few hours on Earth, I was like recording a Doughboy.
That would be awful.
I was in so when and I think this is one of those things that everyone kind of has time stamped in their head of like where they were at this moment, but like. When the news that Osama bin Laden had been killed came out, I was coaching a Herald team. I was like at improv practice, and was like giving notes on like a group game. Yeah, and then our friend Clay Larson got a text. Is like, guys, Osama bin Laden's dead. It's like, what?
Hey Clay, that's cool, but you're actually gonna have to sit out the next show because you're not supposed to be looking at your phone.
Yeah, you're supposed to be on do not disturb, buddy.
You're supposed to be thinking of second beat for Mr. Poopy Shit.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, what a fucking dumb thing to be doing. Yeah.
Focus up, buddy.
Yeah, it's what that makes me think of though is just like, you ever think about how all society is a fiction? Where it's just like we all have all these rules that are put in place. I'm gonna sound like the fucking Joker for a second.
I love this.
But we all have all these rules that are put in place.
Go here.
But they're completely arbitrary.
Go with me.
Like it's
terrified.
Like if you walk into a store and it's like, okay, well, we have this thing where you have these rules exist that are enforced by the tacit threat of violence. That if I go into a store, I have to like take an item off of the shelf and I have to walk up and I have to pay for it. But really, like, you don't have to do anything. Yeah. Like, you could just go behind the counter and just start pissing. You could do that. You could decide to do that.
Yes.
I'm just going to go and I'm just going to start peeing where the cash register is. That's just like, and people would be like, the fuck are you doing? What's going on? This guy's crazy. You'd be arrested. Yeah. But like, these rules are completely arbitrary, that we have a designated place to go to the bathroom and that when you walk into a business, you have to exchange currency to walk away with a possession.
You should be able to piss wherever the fuck you want.
You should be able to piss wherever the fuck you want. But I'm saying, like, these rules are good. But it's just like the whole thing of like, if someone just wanted to ignore all traffic laws and drive however the fuck they want, I mean, they'd be pursued by police, but also, like, this stuff is completely arbitrary. Like, you don't even have to necessarily drive on roads. You can do whatever the fuck you want. It's all made up. It's all a fiction we agree on. It's a shared lie.
Yeah. Like, there's a lot of lies. Like you go into a restaurant, you have an awful meal.
Yeah.
What's happening?
I thought we were telling scary stories. What the fuck is this?
This is the scariest conversation of all, Mitch.
What the hell is going on here?
Mitch, I love how Mitch, you were very honestly about like, I don't want to go here.
Yeah.
I came here to tell spooky stories.
I came here to tell a spooky story.
This is...
We each have spooky stories.
You're actually getting the closest to being The Shining's Jack Nicholson in this moment, losing your mind at this weird train we're riding.
Look, I agree that you should be able to piss anywhere. All right? I agree. The rules, I agree. The rules are arbitrary.
Yeah.
Who owns this piece of land? No one. No one owns the dirt.
Yes.
No one owns that dirt.
Yes.
Yeah. This restaurant meal was awful. They literally tried to poison me. That's okay. Just pay and say thank you.
Right. Yeah.
Just pay and say thank you.
Yeah.
What? Okay.
Yeah. Look,
wild.
It is wild.
Spooky.
But you know what? It's not other earthly, which I have a story.
You have an other earthly story?
I mean, I'm just trying to get into the fucking scary
Okay,
stories.
fucking
Go
take
for it,
us there,
please.
Jesus! I've never seen anyone more scared of a real conversation.
All right. Now I can't tell the story.
Why
No,
not? Tell
I
it,
want to
please
hear
tell
the
it.
story.
Look. I don't know if I believe in ghosts,
Okay.
but Wags, when I first moved out here,
Yeah.
I lived in this house. Do you know about this house? I lived in a house with a producer.
Oh, yeah, I know about this house.
Nathan Lane
Yeah.
is scary.
No, who's the other guy?
Matthew
Broderick?
Broderick.
Broderick. It was Matthew Broderick's house. I lived in a house, and I had a boss there, and he was going to Greece, funny enough.
Ooh.
So that goes into another story. This house, they say that Charlie Chaplin bought it for his mom.
Oh.
And they say that, but it is also the truth. He did buy it for his mom. It's just is the truth. And they said that Marilyn Monroe, I almost said Marilyn Manson. That's scary. Marilyn
is
Monroe
scary.
used to visit the house a lot. I was there. There was a very old dog that lived here. The producer, who one time asked me to suck him off, the producer was going to Greece.
That's really scary.
The producer was going to Greece, Wags. And I had to stay there and watch his dog, Carrie.
Dog's name was Carrie?
Mhm.
That's very scary.
That's not the scary.
I mean, better than Cujo, but it is king adjacent.
Yeah, it's spooky adjacent, you know?
Carrie, Kerry.
Oh, okay.
That's
It's
how my
not-
mom's name is spelled.
I know. And that's how John Kerry's last name is spelled.
Oh.
That's a scary election.
Very.
That was basically a treehouse of horror, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was staying to watch Carrie. There was another assistant who lived in the house. So there was me, and the other assistant who lived downstairs. I was in the guest room, and the producer who lived in the house lived upstairs.
Okay. And a dog.
And a dog, Carrie.
Okay.
And they said, you're going to watch the dog, Carrie. You're going to stay here. The producer left to go to Greece. The assistant was still there. He said, do you have any questions about the house you want to ask me before I go? And I said, yeah. I said, I got one for you. Is this house haunted? And he said, why do you say that? And I said, I don't know. Is the house haunted? And he's like, I'll tell you when you get back. And I was like, no.
So yes, just say yes then.
yeah, sure.
And then I said, is it haunted by a woman? And then he got really scared. And he looked at me and said, why do you say that? I said, I don't know. Is it haunted by some lady? And he said, why are you asking that? And this is the truth. I said, I don't know. And
You just had a vibe.
I told him that this is the truth. I kept waking up in the middle of the night and felt like someone was watching me in my bedroom
Ew.
Wow.
while I was there. That is the truth. I kept waking up.
But some part of you was like, it's like a woman's energy.
Yeah, I don't know why I said that. I never saw anything ever.
Yes.
I said, yeah, it feels like, I just thought, I don't know, I have this vibe that there's some lady. And he said that over the years, a lot of people have seen this like blonde lady in like a white dress. And he said that, like the cleaning people have seen this lady. And then, the producer's nephew saw her like in the hallway. And so he followed her up the stairs. And she went into a room, and then she vanished.
Wow.
Ooh.
And I said, what room was it? And he said, the guest room that you're staying in.
Wow.
And that is the truth. This is the truth.
I buy this.
Did I ever see a person ever? No. Did I feel like there was someone in the room when I woke up a couple times? Yeah.
Ugh.
Then after that, I said, may I sleep in your room for the rest of the time that you're gone? And he said, yes. And I dragged all my stuff down there that day. I was terrified for 2 weeks while they were gone, basically. And I would say, hello, please don't show yourself. I'm scared. I'd yell this out loud in the house. I was so afraid of some sort of ghost.
Wow.
And in fact, I met some of the birthday boys that way.
Wow.
I went to a
that's
birthday
wild.
boys party before they were the Birthday Boys.
What are you talking about, Mitch? The Birthday Boys have been dead since 1941.
Sounds like a shitty Birthday Boy sketch.
Shots fired.
And Tim Kalbaka says that he remembers me sleeping on their couch at their house, and that I was a guy who was afraid to go home.
Wow.
Because of this ghosty thing. That is the truth. Now, did I ever see a ghost? That's not even my good ghost story, but that's the one I have my personal experience with.
That's nasty. And it just had a...
That was positively bone chilling. I think I'll give myself some head.
Whoa, skeleton! What the fuck? It's hard for me to do this. My skeleton powers.
The lady in question, was she ribbed for your pleasure? Oh, that's good. Yeah, wow. That's
a good one, Mitch. I think I've heard a version of that before.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Yeah.
The other one is crazy. I mean, should I tell that later? I think. Oh, yours is so good.
Whatever. Tell me when to tell mine. Whenever you want.
Yours is good and truly creepy.
Yeah.
Mine is secondhand, but also has a good.
Do you want to tell it now?
Do you want me to just get it over with? I'll tell mine too
just
first.
Tell it.
I've never experienced anything.
Mm-hmm.
Back in Quincy, Massachusetts.
Ooh.
A scary place to some. That didn't come out the way I wanted it to, but you know what? It came out pretty bad.
Oh my God.
There was a house up the street from me, now over 100 years old. The Hennigans lived there. Margot. Well, I shouldn't say her full name. I shouldn't dox her. Margot. I won't say. Maybe we'll bleep her last name. No, Margot Hennigan. She lived. You know what? I don't get it. It's a double.
I shouldn't say her social. Okay, I'll say it.
But she was my sister's friend, Margot Hennigan, and they lived there for a while. They moved out of the house. Then the Tufos, Anthony and Dan Tufo, two of my best friends, grown up. Still, I love them like brothers. Their family moved in there. I was still very young when this happened. And I would have sleepovers over the Tufos' house, and this house was such an old, beautiful old house.
Yeah.
But very creepy. And Mrs. Tufo told me that when they first moved in, she would tell these ghost stories. She'd say, when we first move in, we go into a room and a light would turn on. And then we go into a room and the TV would turn on, and we would we start to acknowledge it. We were like, hi, we know you're here or whatever. And look, you're going to think a lot of this is crazy.
Uh-huh.
But she said that when it got out of hand, her and her husband, Tony, who's passed away, rest in peace, Mr. Tufo, great guy, built the deck at my house. Which you've been, Wags, you sat on. That's
lovely deck.
It's gone through but that's he built our skeleton friend was like this. He built the bare bones of that deck there. Didn't even react.
I do like that. Carry on.
Very respectful skeleton now, I guess. I'm tired after giving myself head. All right. But it all came to a head one night. They were going out, and Anthony and Dan were basically babies. And a babysitter came over, and they came back. And when they came back, her dad was there with her, and she was had been bawling, crying. And they're like, "What happened?" After you left, the lights were flashing on and off, and I heard two men in the basement yelling, and she called the cops and her dad or whatever, and they came over, and that's Mr. Tufo was like, "Uh-oh, there was no one in the basement."
Wow.
This is and they would hear voices like that sometimes. And she told me a couple funny things, which are funny. She went upstairs, she heard someone upstairs, and I think she took a knife, and she went upstairs. And then a Matchbox car rolled down the hallway by itself when she got to the stairs.
Wow, that's scary.
And then another time, look, I know people won't believe it, but that's fine. But there's a good end to this. Then another time where she went upstairs and she had one of those wind swings, and she went upstairs and she hadn't touched it, and she went upstairs and it was swinging back and forth on its own and stopped when she went into the room. So that's another thing. And then one night, this is the craziest. So bear with me here. And this could be sleep paralysis, like you're saying. Okay. She was in bed and she saw like a sheet, like a black veil floating over her in bed. And she said, if you're a good ghost, you can stay. If you're a bad ghost, get out. Mm-hmm. And it whipped across the room. Ooh. Out, and the window shade went up. This is what she said. She told me that she also had bought like this antique bed frame, which 2 twin girls had died in from smoke inhalation. And then also that someone else had died in that house. But anyway, look, whatever you believe about that, you believe about it. But I was in college and I get a phone call one day. And I say, hello? And he says, your mom home? I said, no. She said, well, we tell her Mrs. Hennigan called. I said, oh my God, Mrs. Hennigan. I haven't talked to you.
You're getting this phone call?
At my home in Quincy. I said, oh my God, Mrs. Hennigan, I haven't talked to you in forever. I haven't talked to this lady since I was, a child, since I was 4 years old. And I was like, Mrs. Hennigan, Mrs. Tufo tells some stories about, and she said, Michael, I'm going to stop you right there. That house is haunted, and it's the reason we moved out.
Wow.
That's pretty crazy.
That's pretty good.
And that's the end of my story.
Whoa.
Wow.
Now, will people be like, it's not ravey. Okay? To all you listeners out there, it's not ravey right now. It's scary.
It's not ravey. It's gravy.
What the fuck does that mean?
Femur? I hardly know her.
What the fuck is the skeleton talking about?
He's trying stuff
He doesn't
out.
eat gravy? You know what is I know graveyard.
Yeah. He's trying to
get it.
Look, I've never seen anything ever. I know that you can just say that story is fake. She's trying to scare kids. But the backup of it, when Mrs. Hennigan called, I did think that was a crazy.
Yeah, that's scary.
I mean, I think I'm a person who believes in energy wags. And did you ever watch the Nightmare movie? It's the Nightmare movie is about sleep paralysis. I think it's called.
Oh, I've heard about this. Yeah, people have recommended it to me. I've never watched it.
The end of that documentary is really scary because so many of the people that have sleep paralysis are like, the end result is they're just like, I'm not sure what it is. That's kind of what they leave. That's what they leave it on. They're like, I don't know if it is just a thing that I see or if this is like some sort of otherworldly thing. And I don't know either. And I think that you can see a lot of weird things when you're in a sleep state. So I think that's, to me, it seems like the most likely explanation of a lot of things.
It's a very strange experience, and I don't know who here in this room has experienced it firsthand, but I would say having had it.
You told me I did, but it was a tarantula for me.
Right. But
yeah.
you're in like a liminal state where you're not really asleep and you're not really awake, and so
Totally.
for me, I'm always perceiving the space I'm in, whatever room I'm in is where like my I know I'm spatially there, but like other weird shit is happening to me in that space, and it's very unnerving. And I have no control over my body.
You know Robert Ben Grant?
Yes, yeah.
He has a great scary story that's like horrifying.
Ooh.
This is the one from when he was doing USO overseas, right? Yeah, I've heard this story. Yeah.
Oh no, there was another one that
was a different one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awful.
Yeah.
Well, I think bad energy is very interesting, and I also think it's interesting that this could have been pseudoscience, but there was one thing I was reading years ago about basically a scientist who tried to make a connection between there's electricity in all our brains, and basically trying to draw a connection between the science of when you die, the electricity in your brain has to go somewhere.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and basically saying he was at least positing that the electricity in our brains can connect with dormant electricity that's been left behind from a dead body. At least that was his theory. Again, it's like, what? Huh? What are you talking about? But I thought it was interesting just to be like, okay, there's some. It's just kind of like the whole 21 grams thing.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Or it's along those lines in terms of there's always it's always interesting to me when we're trying to figure out what happens when life escapes.
Right, because we
Sure.
know basically nothing about the brain. Like we have a general
Yeah.
sense of it, but like our understanding it is so small. It's like our knowledge of the observable universe. It's like there's so much more about the brain or the oceans. There's so much more there that we just don't understand. And no one has ever solved the hard problem of consciousness, i.e., why consciousness feels like anything. Why does it feel like something to be alive? Like. You know, why do we have, whether it's an illusion or not, why do we feel like we have free will?
Here we go again.
But
yeah, I knew.
it's
I was
fucking
like,
weird.
Mitch is gonna get mad so quickly. Do you ever think about consciousness?
And once again, we should be able to piss wherever we want to.
Wait, do you ever think about I'll only be conscious in my brain and nowhere else? Does that ever scare anyone?
No,
Or
I
have
know,
you
I get what you mean.
accepted that?
No,
It's
I
scary,
understand
but
that, yeah.
is it as scary as these lit pumpkin figures on the wall here?
Those
Is
are
that what
kinda
they are?
spooky.
Are they jack-o'-lanterns? Is that what the is that
I
what
don't
the little
know. They're
lantern
kinda
is?
red.
It's just like a regular party light.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's fun. It's working. It's
I
very
thought
moody.
they were little jack-o'-lanterns.
You know what? Yeah, they're jack-o'-lanterns.
Jack-o'-lanterns.
We got it specifically for
The
this.
Jacky-lanterns.
I thought they were
Jack-o'-lanterns.
Jack-o'-lanterns?
Jack-o'-lanterns.
It's actually a jack-off lantern
Yeah.
when you're in the mood.
Love it.
Here's my question: should you tell your story?
Which one's my story?
Which one's his story?
Make one up, you idiot.
Oh, I have a story.
Oh, yeah.
I actually do. I don't have a ghost story, but I have something else.
Okay.
I figured I'd pull up a Jost story. So I'm going to go to Bing and I'm
my
going to search for Colin Jost and see
Ghost
Are
story.
you tell it
what's on
scary
the,
at least?
what's on the news. Yeah, I'll tell it it's scary. All right, here we go. This is the top one. This is from SILive.com 2 days ago.
Okay.
SNL's Colin Jost, longest serving weekend update anchor, to return to show. The born and raised Staten Islander will return to Saturday Night Live for at least one more season.
No.
Jost,
God, no.
41, first joined the NBC variety sketch show in 2005 as a writer and began his weekend update anchor tenure in 2014. According to NBC, Jost is the longest serving anchor in the show's history.
Oh my god,
Hey.
is that true?
Apparently, yeah.
God.
Wow,
Should I do another one?
That was pretty scary.
Yeah.
that was really scary. You didn't tell it with a flashlight though.
Oh, I forgot about the flashlight. Okay, let me do it. Let me find another one.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. This is from People Magazine. Is this good? Where do I put
That's
this?
That's
perfect.
pretty good. Yeah, Mitch was just kind of lighting part of his beard.
It's hard to light Mitch's entire face. All right, here we go. Scarlett Johansson says she and husband Colin Jost battle over this $46 face serum.
Oh!
When it comes to testing out new products for her skincare line,
Dear
the
God.
outset, Scarlett Johansson looks right inside her house. Turns out her husband, that would be SNL star Colin Jost, is more than happy to help out. He's like my guinea pig for all of this stuff, Johansson told an intimate crowd of beauty editors and shoppers at a recent Nordstrom beauty event in NYC.
Wah! Add chainsaw noises here.
Johansson said she always wanted one set of skincare products on our counter that Colin and I could both use, and added that they even bring the products on the road with them.
The humanity.
Wow.
Stop! What? No! Ah!
Uncle! That was scary.
That is scary.
$46 for a single tube?
Yeah, that's a lot. Money is wild.
That's crazy. That sucked. Wow, that
Mano.
was scary.
Yeah.
There is one last story. to
Wait,
tell.
hold on. This one's good.
Oh, this one's scary. This
This
one's
one's good.
scary. Hold on to
Hold
your
on.
butts, everyone.
How Jimmy Buffett once saved Colin Jost from drowning after a surfing mishap. The late Jimmy Buffett wasn't just a singer-songwriter and entrepreneur. He was a hero, at least if you asked Colin Jost. The Saturday Night Live star was once saved from a surfing mishap by the Margaritaville singer who died on September 1st at age 76, 4 years after he was diagnosed with Merkel cell carcinoma. So this is, I guess, published as part of his obituary. In a story recounted in his 2020 memoir, A Very Punchable Face, Jost reveals that Buffett came to his rescue after he nearly drowned while surfing in St. Bart's in 2014. The comedian says he and journalist Carmel Lobello, his girlfriend at the time, were spending New Year's at a villa in the Caribbean island when he wound up seated next to Buffett one night at dinner. And then the rest is paywalled.
Whoa! Just like pelvis, I'm all shook up.
What's funny is that there's so much preamble, it doesn't actually tell the story of him getting rescued. Maybe that's somewhere else. Anyway, apparently he says he almost drowned and then Jimmy Buffett saved him.
A very relatable story of having your own cabana and then Jimmy Buffett saving you.
Right?
Did Buffett write a song like "Jumpin' Jehoshaphat's" or?
Oh yeah, that's the kind of thing he would do.
You know, Jamaica Mistake Us.
Right. Anyway, that's what I got. I got 3 Colin Jost.
Those were really good.
Yeah.
Those will keep me up tonight. That was wild.
Oh, okay. Wait, this is I found Yahoo News with the same thing. So apparently, what happened is that he came up on some rocks while he was surfing, and he had his surfboard like leashed to his foot. And Jimmy came up and cut the board away to keep him from drowning, or I guess to keep him from hitting himself with a board.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is very funny.
Yeah, it's interesting
to have a part of your life story be like being your life saved by Jimmy Buffett.
That's insane.
Yeah.
You ever think you hear a story like that and just be like, he could have just made that up?
Maybe.
Yeah. I'm not saying he did, but it's like,
did he say this after Jimmy passed away?
I mean, it says it came from his memoir, so his memoir was published in 2020. Yeah.
Okay.
But also, like, so much stuff is just like, I mean, that's like the whole emotional truths thing, right? It's just like some shit is just made up. People just make shit up.
Yeah, they make up like where the bathroom should be and where like you can and can't piss.
It's all fucking made up, man. So, but we're saying Buffett made it up?
I don't know. I think this one's probably happened, or some version of it probably happened. But sometimes you read a story that's so like
you're trying to myth bust it.
Yeah, I don't know. Are you sometimes like, especially coming from a comedian, aren't you sometimes like, all right, come on.
Yeah.
But then again, maybe people do that with our stories.
I believe everything Hassan Minaj says, so I
don't know. Because I thought you were saying Buffett lied about it being Jost. Yeah, I saved Colin Jost's life.
That would be very funny. No, it's Joe's story about Buffett.
Yeah.
I don't know if Buffett has its own version that he's told.
Too late. Dead men tell no tales.
It's true. Great point.
Those are a great few Jost stories, Wags. But I think we have to end with a real ghost story.
Okay,
Wow.
all ready?
Yeah.
Okay, ghost stories.
We find Miles also was about Jost.
Oh, that's awful. Am I on? Is it happening? Okay. So again, I don't believe in ghosts, but here we go. But maybe this will change your mind.
Wow.
I don't know if I believe in like sheet ghosts. You know what I'm saying?
A regular ass sheet ghost?
Yeah.
A regular ass sheet ghost.
Run of the mill sheet ghost. Well, Scooby-Doo proved they're always someone else.
There's always someone under there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, do I believe in like, I don't know, apparitions, I guess? Is that the question?
Have they ever done the thing where like you pull a sheet ghost off of somebody, like you pull the sheet off, but it's like a fucking Frankenstein under there?
I feel like
someone's
in
done that.
Scooby-Doo.
You think it's happened in Scooby-Doo?
But you bring up a
I
good
think
point.
you were beat by Hanna-Barbera 60 years ago.
This is good for the listeners. Is there a ghost hierarchy? Is there a phantom, an apparition, a ghost, a spirit?
A
What's
wraith?
the hierarchy?
Yeah.
Yes. What's the
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I think Freddy is number one.
Okay, so Freddy's in his own category.
Freddy's number, oh yeah. Oh,
I thought we were talking about ghosts, yeah.
only ghosts.
Yeah.
Just ghosts.
Just ghosts. I mean, I think of ghost as like kind of, we're talking taxonomically, I think of ghost as kind of like a catch-all term. Like they're all ghosts.
They're all ghosts.
Yeah, but yeah, I feel like an
They're like
apparition is kind
demons
of,
yeah.
yeah, when I think of something that's got a little bit more of a menace to it,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, what were some of the other ones you said? I mean,
Apparition, ghost, spirit, phantom.
Spirit feels a little bit more benevolent.
Yes.
Phantom feels scary. If I don't want to fucking
Really?
Phantom.
Phantom to me seems like the fucking, I mean, maybe just because they're like, it's the Phantom of the Opera, but I don't
You
feel
thinking
that.
of Billy Zane?
Yeah, I'm not that afraid of a Phantom.
I'm with you, phantom and it could just be the connotation for something. Phantom makes me feel like it's in the middle somewhere.
Okay, yeah, sure.
I agree with you. Spirits, the spirit could be Casper. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Phantom.
spirits. I mean, I'd be afraid of most of spirit. It's just, I mean, a phantom is like, if it was like, I'm a phantom, I'd be like, all right, bud, I don't know.
Yeah. But like an apparition to me is like that's like that's like a like like a Dark Souls like vision. That's like okay, this thing is going to give me a little bit of guidance or something. You know,
apparition though is almost scary because it sounds almost like scientific. It sounds like almost like this could be real.
Right, like a professor of spookology would be like, "There's an apparition in this house," and you'd be like, "Oh shit! Oh wow!"
Like he
that's
has
legit.
the facts and numbers to back it up.
Yeah, he's got a little device.
He's got that little thingy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a professor of spookology would probably say something like that.
Ghost? I mean,
I'm failing my spookology class.
well, I'll give you some extra credit. Capture 3 spookies in this jar.
What? I'm trying to think of other ghost name. Like I mentioned Wraith. That's
Banshee.
making me think of Banshee's one.
Ooh.
Yeah, the ghost in the jar is its own thing. I mean, that
Now
just
you're
makes me think
talking
of
my
Zelda.
language. Banshees. That's what my family had to deal with.
Oh, the Banshees of Inisherin.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yes.
I thought you were doing a Banksy for a second. I was like, what?
The fuck? We need to tell a real ghost story here. boy.
Okay. Mitch wants a ghost story, and here it comes. Okay.
We forgot ectoplasm.
Ectoplasm isn't on the ghost scale.
Oh shit! Here's one.
It's like Ghost
Poltergeist.
Come.
A fucking
Poltergeist is
Poltergeist
fucking
is
scary.
king.
Get the
Poltergeist
fuck out of
is
here.
scary.
Poltergeist is
Poltergeist.
king.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the king. That's
Yeah.
the one who's like, I'm here to like really cross over.
Yeah.
That sucks. I don't like even hearing poltergeist.
Yeah.
Don't
Sick.
say it again, Wax, please.
Wisp ghosts.
That's not as scary. Those feel like ones that you can kick their asses.
Yeah, we're kind of more sort
Totally.
of mists.
What about those ghosts that only show up as little bubbles on photographs?
Like orbs. Like
Yeah,
little,
yeah.
Orbs are not that. I mean, like, it's scary that they're around because there's spirits around, but you like, then I see the photo later. I'm like, I guess that's kind of scary that there was an orb there at the same
Right.
time. Wisps, I feel like you could put on a dehumidifier and fucking wipe them out.
I'm not too worried about a
Totally.
wisp. Yeah.
No, not at all.
Mhm.
No, okay. I have a ghost story. I'm going to tell you a ghost story if you want to hear it, which I think you
Oh
do.
yeah, absolutely.
Of course.
Okay, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing the flashlight. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're fine.
So, okay, so I was in Greece. I was on the island of Milos, where the Venus de Milo's from.
Oh, wow.
Context. And I was there with my sister and her husband, so my brother-in-law.
Mhm.
And we were staying on the island of Milos, and we were going to like basically there was the home he grew up in, which was a very, very humble, like 2-door white hut. You know, one of those classic little Greek hut houses
Sure, yeah.
that you see on the posters.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
This sounds like Balky from Perfect Stranger's backstory.
Yeah, he's from the island of Mypos.
Is he really?
He's from
Yes,
the island
yeah.
of Mypos, which that's a fake island.
Oh.
Because Mypos in Greek means maybe.
I just went from knowing one island in Greece to 0.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to burst that bubble. But yeah, so it's Island of Milos. I was there with my brother-in-law and sister, and we're going to his old childhood home. And we're like, no one's been there in like 10 years.
Yeah.
So we're doing the classic, like there's tarps on everything. So we're just kicking off these tarps, you know, like dusting everything and basically like reopening this house that has been unoccupied for 10 years. Already awful. There's just a gross, that old dirt smell is just like in the air. It's just yeah. So it's like there's only so much you can do to like get new oxygen in there.
Some people describe it as the Headgum studio after the Doughboys have left.
Mountain
musty.
Dew and armpits. So we're staying there, and it's I'm already like not having great vibes. I mean,
Sure.
I've stayed in very humble houses like this in Greece all the time, but there's a weird vibe there. The bathroom is outdoors, like fully outdoors in
Wow.
an outhouse style thing, and as
Fucking bullshit that there's a designated piss area.
I wanted to piss everywhere. So, and also like I'm also as we're cleaning up, I'm learning. I see this like horrifying old butcher, like this old butchery machinery.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck is that? He's like, oh, my father used to be a goat butcher. like an old-timey goat butcher.
Wow.
So like there's just like weird, gross machinery and old leather stuff like already in the house. I'm already like this. I'm not getting this. I don't like this.
Yeah.
So there are just 2 rooms in this house, and I'm sleeping in my brother-in-law's like old room. Cool. I go to bed. I fall asleep, and I have a fit of what I'm pretty sure is sleep paralysis. And I have sleep paralysis. I'm in my bed. I'm unsure if it's a dream or not because, like, I'm in my bed. I'm frozen. And because there's no doorways, right? There's no doorways. So I just see, like, there's a door to this little hallway. And I think we left the light on in that hallway. So I just see, like, smoke kind of begin to gather. And it's like a faceless figure. And the only distinctive part of their body is that their hands drag to the floor.
Whoa.
Yeah, so it's like
scary.
And I was not far from it. So it's like I felt like I should be able to see a face.
Yeah.
But there was no face to see, if that makes sense. Hands drug to the floor. I mean, like knuckles are on the floor, you know? So I'm really freaked out. I'm trying to move. I'm pretty sure it's sleep paralysis because I can't move. I can't move. I want to move. I finally am able to like turn towards the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember being like, you know when you turn towards the wall and you're like, is it better that I
Don't see?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I couldn't decide if it was better to see or not see, but I chose wall, and I was like, I'm not, and I was like near like this like wooden window shutter, so I was like, I'm not turning the other way until like there's sunlight pouring in my eyes. You know, like I was like, I'm just not gonna turn around until that happens. The morning comes, of course I slept like shit. And then that morning, I was sleeping in my brother-in-law's room. We go to like breakfast, blah, 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 blah. He's like, how did you sleep? And I was like, not very good. I had nightmares. And he's immediately like interested. He's like, what'd you dream about? And I was like, I'm like embarrassed. I'm like, I don't want to say a fucking shadow man. I don't know. And I was like, I don't know. It was just like general nightmares stuff. We get back to the house. We go back to the bedroom where I had slept, his former bedroom. He opens an old dresser. He pulls out an old notebook, flips through pages to a drawing he drew as a child. He shows me the drawing. He says, did you see him? And it's a drawing of a dark man with hands on the floor.
Wow, that's scary.
It is like, it's the Shadow Man.
Wow.
And of course I say, I was like, yeah. And he's like, oh yeah, he visits.
Wow.
Yeah, he comes around.
Wow.
Fully unfazed.
Hands on the floor too.
Yeah.
That's a specific, spooky detail wise.
Yeah,
It was
spooky
nasty.
detail.
And again, I'm here. It's like that really happened. But I'm also here if anyone's like, oh, well, sleep paralysis demons look similar.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you said, shadowy guy.
Yeah. But also, like, I'm not like this big, like, avowed, like I'm a skeptic, like, whatever. Like, I'm also like, my big thing is like, I don't think we really fucking know much of anything. And so like, here's something that's like, oh, that's fucking crazy. I don't know what the explanation could be. I'm not looking to rationalize it away. That's fucking intense.
Totally.
Yeah. Wow. That's
for
a
anyone
wild
listening,
story.
I'm sure the ghost people say, yeah, that's a ghost. I'm sure the non-ghost people say like, well, there's a way around this.
Yeah.
But yeah, and of course, ever since things like that happen, I do the same thing you're talking about. Where I'm like, I'm anytime I'm in a weird place, I do the thing of like, I do not want you here. Please leave me be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean you no harm.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm feeling a weird vibe, I will announce it.
Yeah.
Just be like,
wow.
I don't want any part of this.
The spookiest part about that story is to me
What?
that outdoor toilet. Give me some privacy.
Yeah. Also, so close to just not having any rules at all.
Pure chaos. Yeah.
Pure chaos.
Wow, that's a crazy story.
Yeah.
I've heard about people have told me about Mano's ghost story and never heard it from the horse's mouth. This is amazing to hear. That's really intense.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we don't have to tell any more stories, do we?
No, I think we're square. Mano, thank you so much for joining us. Do you have anything you want to plug? You have a spooky thing right now. You and Betsy are doing.
Yes, we have a spooky thing we're doing right now. We're keeping it really scary. So we're doing a month-long podcast on Earwolf Presents that is too spooky to handle. It's 4 improvised spooky movies every Friday. It's awesome. It's so fun. It's so stupid. We got amazing people like Nicole and Gamers and Oscar and Katie Dippold and Mary Holland and Lauren Lapkus and Payam Banafaz. We got all these amazing people to come improvise spooky movies with us. And of course, the geniuses at the Earwolf produced it and added music and all this stuff. So go listen to Too Spooky to Handle totally free on Earwolf Presents.
Yeah, so and just to explain this to people, because it's one of those things where like you have to do a little bit of manipulation in your podcast app. What you're looking for is the Earwolf Presents feed.
Yes.
And that has a bunch of different shows in it,
Yes.
including Mano and Betsy's show, which everyone should check out. But yeah, if you just look for Earwolf Presents in whatever your podcast app of choice is, it should come up. And it's free, so check it out.
Yeah, check that out. And follow me on Instagram. You hear me? I'm doing stupid drag shows at Dynasty Typewriter with Oscar and the other podcast stuff I do, like Drag Her with Headgum, where we talk, Drag Race.
There you go.
Yeah.
Rules.
Come find me there.
One of our favorites. Thank you so much
Yes.
for making time for us. So great to have you on Horror Month.
Guys, it
What
was
a
so
hoot.
scary, Skeleton. Thank you
know.
for having me.
Oh my God. The pleasure was all mine. That'll do it for Shockdoughbooerdeath 2023. And hey, if you have a bone to pick with this episode, log on to the spookiest place of all, the Doughboys subreddit.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
That was beautiful.
Blow out the candles.
Oh.
I don't want to stand up.
Bye.
Bye.
Doughboys Media.